All right, I am live now. Um, so I'm looking better. I'm looking better. Um, the last time I did a video, I was really dark, so I apologize. I am really bright. I had to adjust the settings because it looked like I was in a closet. So now I'm looking good. Um, what did I want to talk about today? Um, All right, so what am I going to talk about today? Talking about two topics. Want to continue the topic that I talked about the other day regarding, let me see, regarding TransUnion and Equifax being fined by the government. And so that's why I titled this The Shady Tactics by Credit Bureaus. And that is what a lot of consumers don't know, that yes, the credit bureaus are, or should I say, they do use shady tactics that can possibly financially harm you, because whether you agree with this or not, everything that you do pretty much in the US really requires your credit, even if you cash heavy. For those individuals who have access to money, um, where cash is no problem, credit does play a large part, because unfortunately, depending on your I shouldn't say, because I was going to say something else, but depending on where you are in life, there are decisions that will be made based on your credit. And that could be, a job, that could be you getting possibly a loan, whether you're in business or not. And many people always say, well, why is it that my credit plays a large part? And the reason why is because I didn't make these rules up. Because people relate, or should I say, people connect your credit to your character. Because really, in all actuality, I've said this before, whenever you enter into any agreement to be able to get credit, and someone is extending credit to you, you are actually signing a contractual agreement. A contractual agreement meaning that someone is going to give you money, X amount of money, whether it's a credit card, loan, or what have you, and in turn, you are going to have to pay them back. And whatever the case may be, you can't pay or not. And I get it, life happens. So, going back to what I said, shady tactics. They got fined. Along with them getting fined, there were also mortgage lenders who were also part of this, should I say, lawsuit. And like I said, that's small beans. The reason why it's small beans because credit bureaus are for-profit entities. They are not governmental entities. They are for-profit entities, meaning that they have shareholders to answer to, which means every quarter they have to answer to their shareholders to make a profit, because large corporations, their goal is to make a profit, is not to be in the losing situation. And that is why I always tell people, many people say, well, why is it that the process has to be so difficult? The reason why the process is so difficult when you are doing the work yourself, which is what I teach individuals, is because there is no money to be made with you having good credit. Individuals who have good credit, they can pretty much, they can write their ticket. They are not under the pressures of having to just go with the flow because they have bad credit. And so when you are in the position of you just have to go with the flow because you have no type of You have no type of, should I say, financial power. You know, I don't want to use that word, but that's the word. I just can't think of nothing in you know, right this second. You will fall victim of high, should I say, interest rates. You will fall victim to um, not being able to make sensible financial decisions because your back is up against the wall. I've said this before as wisdom that I got from my mother, and she used to always say the worst thing that you want to be in life is to have bad credit and no money. And so, because at least if you don't have no money, if you got credit, you can always get access to cash. So I say all that to say, there was something that I was going to bring up regarding that. That is why I always tell individuals why it's important to know how this all works. That is why you do not want to go into 2017 with the same thing that you did in 2016 if you didn't get any results. I always say this is going to be something that I'm going to say very common in 2017. Don't get mad for the work that you didn't do. Just talked to a gentleman 2 days ago. I'm going to be kicking off my class Sunday, which is tomorrow. Today is Saturday. And I have some individuals who have invested in themselves. It's going to be my first class that I'm kicking off during the year for 2017. And like he said, free information is good. Said I've learned a lot from your videos, but I have hit a wall and I need help. And that is what a lot of people don't realize. Many people are hitting a wall because there's so much information. They're going through right now, which is information overload. And that is why they can't make any decision. Now, right now, what I want to do, and I'm actually looking for the other email. This right now is results from a person that I've worked with, and they have gotten 2 bankruptcies removed off of their credit report. And I'm going to show you. I know it's probably going to be hard to see, and I don't have to worry about any information being shared because when she sent me the email, she took out all her personal information. So I hope you can see that. And this is the email that I got from the lady. Name is Miss Johnson. And she said, your methods and systems really work. Thanks a bunch. And right now she is working with Equifax. 2 bankruptcies got removed, and that was because she decided that she was one of those who had really got to a place as far as she could, and then eventually couldn't go no further. And so her and I started working together, and now she has removed 2 bankruptcies. So what is the point that I'm making? Information like that, you can get off of a video. I'm sharing it with you. But the steps that it will take to do it, the system that I have put together to help people, that you're not going to get from a free video, that you're going to have to get from a class. But I just remembered, light bulb went off. I want to go back to the shady tactics. That is what I wanted to talk about, my main point. And I'll get back to the bankruptcy. I'm sorry I'm going back and forth. One of, and I had my points written down, but I don't have them in front of me. The reason why, and this is what people don't, they don't understand. And I'm going to go into the shady tactics of the credit bureaus. Online disputes. That's really my main point today. Online disputes. Many people will say, will work with me. And this is what I will say. Those who don't get results, or those who think my methods are too primitive. What do I mean by too primitive? I do hard letters typewritten, meaning that, you know, you type it up in a computer, you send it off, what have you, certified return receipt. I like paper. I like to have a paper trail. Many people decide that, oh, because once again, they're on information overload. They're looking at this one, they're looking at that one. And so they decide that they want to do online disputing. Lorelia, well, why don't you, you know, it's 2017. Why don't you encourage online disputing? And I really wish I had a credit report, because I want to show you. If you notice, and this, some people will not know this. The only individuals who probably will know this is individuals who are in the industry, who have been in the industry long enough, or if you have disputed some years ago compared to now. When you do a dispute now, the credit bureaus will encourage you to go online to get your credit report. Used to be years ago, they used to send that information to you. But this is where understanding the law is. Legally, they have to give you the report. But it's more work for you to do, because now you got to send them a letter to tell them to send you an updated report, because now they don't give it. They'll give you the update. And I'm looking around because I really wish I had that credit report in front of me. They will give you the update on the decision of what they did. Did they delete it, or whatever they said? And then they will put a very small line on there to say, if you want to access your credit report, that you have to go online. Like I said, years ago, depending on the time that a person had did this years ago, they used to send it to you. They don't do that now. You may be wondering, well, Loretta, what is so wrong with me doing it online? I am a millennial. I'm in my 20s. You're a bit old-fashioned. I want to do it online. It goes back to the shady tactics. I can tell you right now, those individuals who are disputing online do not know, I'm giving you this as a bonus, that you are waiving your rights as a consumer. If you read the terms and conditions on the website, the terms and conditions on the credit bureau's websites will say that when you go online to dispute or whatever, you are waiving your rights to be able to sue in a court of law. Now, I'm giving you the abbreviated version of it. Now, of course, you go on the website, it's going to be legal talk and a very legal language, so it ain't going to sound the way I'm saying it. But that's pretty much the full interpretation of it. So that is why they are pushing you to dispute online. You know, you get your free report from annualcreditreport.com. That is what I recommend the clients to go to get their report. They will make it real easy to dispute right now. They do not want you to send paper. Now, the reason why you're waiving your rights, because if you decide to join a class action lawsuit to sue the credit bureau, when you waive your right, you can't do that. Can't do it. When you decide to dispute online, you have waived your right. You can no longer join that class action lawsuit. Like I said, shady tactics. There are so many tactics that are being thrown at consumers. So if you're not dealing with this on a daily basis, you will not know this. That is why so many people, what will happen is they will get a few results disputing online, and then they will hit a brick wall. So that was the juggler. So when I see that lawsuit that was served to TransUnion and Equifax. It doesn't surprise me. You know, like I said, I've always been familiar with the shady tactic of online disputes, and that's why I said it's a recent credit report that I eventually got from a client that, you know, we had some things removed, wanted to get a full report, and they were telling, I had to show the client that they were encouraging her to get the report online. Because when you decide to go online with the URL, they tell you, remember, there's so many things you got to agree to. I got to agree. So people don't know what they're agreeing to. All they doing is click, 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 click. All they doing is just clicking. All they doing is just clicking. Don't know what they're clicking for. They don't know that they've waived the whole, because I'm going to tell you right now, the average person is not reading the terms and conditions of the website. They're not. But this is what I would challenge you to do. I will challenge you to now go to the credit bureau websites and read the terms and conditions on the website. And you will see, like I said, it will be legal language. As long as you don't have no problem with comprehension, don't mean to insult nobody, you will somewhat figure it out. So that is my song and dance today. And so where do I stand? With me wrapping up this video, I share two things with you today. One, results of a client getting bankruptcies removed. That only happens when you decide to take action. Don't be like the 90% of the people who are going to go into 2017. We're 7 days in. They've made that decision 12/31 or either January the 1st to say, doing something different this year. I'm gonna get my credit right, but we 7 days in, and they still ain't did nothing different. You can only get so far watching free videos on YouTube, because like I said, if you decide to do free, your journey is going to take a little longer. You can't expect to get the results for the work you didn't do. You can't expect to get the results that many of the videos that I showed you, because many people always ask, well, how are those people getting those results? You can't get those results if you didn't do that work. I could guarantee you that. But this is what I will tell you. Like I said, two things I showed you. The shady tactics. Like I said, going back to the topic in hand about the credit bureaus. It's a $1 billion industry. I'm probably going to do a separate video on that, because in the last video I talked about an article that I did in 2011, where when I did some research on a federal website that goes into how much debt is owed by consumers in the U.S. It was in the billions. That was the amount of debt. And so that's why I always say financial ignorance is a $1 billion industry. And so I'm going to do a video to show you that that number is still growing and is still in the billions. And decide in 2017 to not be those group of individuals and get some help. Like I said, I'm kicking off a class starting tomorrow on Sunday in the evening. And if you want to learn more about it, go to www.yourmoneymentor.com/credit2017. If you're just someone who says, you know, Lorelia, I'm going to do it, you know, I'm a do-it-yourselfer, kind of got my own groove going on. You want to know what letters were used to remove those bankruptcies, because many people always ask, well, what did you use? You know, goes back to the credit dispute software that you've seen me do videos on. You learn more about that software at www.yourmoneymentor.com/credit software. So that is all that I have today. But doesn't surprise me about Equifax and TransUnion. Like I said, $1 billion industry, money to the side that they have just for lawsuits. Them paying $1 million in fines are peanuts. It means nothing. It's just peanuts. So that is all that I have for today. May do another video later this week. And I kind of just want to show you those numbers just so you can see that I'm not just pulling this information out of the air. Like I said, I don't say a lot of these things for fancy, taglines or what have you, but just want to show you, the information. So once again, it's Lorelia. Have a great evening, and I am signing off. Bye-bye.